Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a wonderful week. As always, I'd like to thank all of my wonderful subscribers and friends for supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me, so thank you so much. I was meaning to jump on yesterday to do this video, and my husband ended up took a day off of work, and so we went and spent some time with some family and went swimming in the pool and hung out, so it was a fun day altogether. So I'm sorry I didn't jump on yesterday, but I'm here today to answer your questions. Before I get into that, I do start training at my other job next week, so I'm gonna try to jump on Monday and answer some questions for you all, but I will have training going on with that for about 2 weeks, so it might be a little bit chaotic and crazy for me, so no promises, but I'm gonna try my best to jump on for you. So answering some of your questions, and then there's some things that I would like to look at as well. First question is from Caroline. She wants to know about the Caldor fire in California and if it will get to Lake Tahoe. So let me ask my guides and try to channel the energy a little bit for that question. I am feeling that it will affect Lake Tahoe. However, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of devastation with that. I think that they may get it contained as it's getting close to Tahoe. I do think some areas may be affected, but for the most part, I don't see a whole lot of damage with that. So I'm not really familiar with the area to really know how populated it is, but I don't see a whole lot of destruction besides a lot of the forests. Somebody commented and said, "Your voice has angelic resonance, as you may already know." Thank you. Have you recorded any guided meditations, healing meditations? Also, have you recorded channeled messages? Well, thank you. I do feel like I do resonate with angels. One time in my earlier 20s, I had a really bad tooth infection that I needed to have pulled. But I was drinking some 151 and had a really lucid dream from that, and it's one of the only dreams that I remember because I'm very restless while I'm sleeping, so I don't really remember a whole lot of dreams. I have had some psychic dreams, but not too often. But in this dream, I had these giant angel wings, and the whole dream I was staring down at the earth and watching all the terrains change, and it was really magical and so peaceful and calming. So I do feel like angels resonate with me, so thank you for that. I haven't done any guided meditations or healing meditations, and that's something I'm looking to get into as I get more experience with energy healing and Reiki, but as of right now, I have not. I haven't recorded any channeled messages because channeling's somewhat new to me as well, and my gifts really developed as I started my Reiki journey and got my Reiki attunement. My connection to Source has been a lot stronger. So I have gotten some channeled some my ET spirit guide, but I wrote that down because it was a little overwhelming. So as I experiment more with that, I'm open to doing a recorded channeling video for you when I get a little bit more comfortable with that. So thank you so much for your comment. She also wants to know, what signs might we expect to see that may indicate veil is lifting, or what some call the shift. I've heard it may be experienced on an individual level, but we will all eventually experience it collectively. Thank you. Well, a lot of us are getting Ascension symptoms at the moment, and I think the most common ones are dizziness or like vertigo symptoms, which I've experienced. I especially experienced those with a lot of earth change activity. earthquakes and stuff like that, with the ringing in the ears as well. That's another ascension symptom. But the other day I was starting to have really bad heart palpitations, and as I was staring at the stars and really trying to meditate. So I know heart palpitations is an ascension symptom, dizziness, I think high blood pressure. We're gonna experience a lot more downloads and our gifts beginning to really awaken. But yeah, we are already in the shift, and a lot of us are already experiencing that. So the earth is ascending slowly and purging some of the negativity so that the earth can ascend, and we as a collective are ascending along with it. Not all of us are going to ascend to the new earth. Some of us will rather stay in 3D energy as the earth ascends into 4 and 5D. But we're going to collectively, our vibrations are going to start to be raised slowly and slowly. It would be very overwhelming if the ascension happened overnight. So it's a gradual process. I see some things within New Earth and Earth Ascension, but a lot of it, I think, it hasn't been decided yet, but we are slowly experiencing this now. So somebody asked, can you answer why there was the largest bust of white supremacy gang, 77 people last week in Georgia, and the news isn't covering it? Well, I haven't heard about that, so apparently the news isn't covering it. But yes, it's very frustrating that we feel like there's some things that should be covered. I think Afghanistan has taken up a lot of the news the last week, so that's probably why all the news coming out with that. But yeah, we are going to see a lot more pockets of terrorist white supremacy cells in the United States. I don't see anything like January 6th again, but we are going to see small things. I think most of them are going to be caught by the FBI. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing that the news didn't cover that. So somebody asked, let's do a non-political question. Okay. What will be the outcome for convicted fraudster Anna Sorokin? I believe she's in ICE custody waiting to be deported. Well, I've never heard of Anna Sorokin, so it's kind of hard to read on her. I'll throw a few cards though and see what the energy is around her. I do feel she will be deported though. And it feels like she is. It feels like she's either in custody or that might be the ICE detention center. Let's see. Let's ask the cards. Anna Sorokin. What will be the outcome for her? I think she's somewhere in Europe because I do feel her being deported back to Europe. Cards don't want to shuffle today. Anna Sorokin. What's the outcome for Anna Sorokin spirit? All right, let's see. a very nice woman. Well, I had the full reverse wanting to fly out, so that's very careless, reckless energy, being foolish. At the moment, I see her returning home, so I do think that she will be deported here very soon. She is crossed by the devil, so she has obviously done a lot of bad deeds. I see her being somewhat hopeful, or trying to be really hopeful, so maybe she's happy to be going home. I feel like she's had a lot of drama here. But I don't see her family wanting to really take her back in, so I think she will be on her own. It's a new journey for her. I don't think she had a very good family upbringing, because I get that with the Ten of Cups reverse, and in her past I get the Five of Pentacles, so I don't think that she had a lot of money. Maybe that's what motivated her to steal some money, but I don't see her as somebody that's changing her ways. I'm not saying jail again, but that wouldn't surprise me in the future, because she's not a changed person with the High Priestess reversed. She's very misguided and has a secret agenda. So I like reading on things that I'm not really aware of, just to see what I get, because obviously I don't have a lot of that information to begin with, so it's always interesting to see what Spirit has to say when you're not really familiar with someone. Somebody wants to know, can you see what you pick up on a nationwide lockdown or food shortages? I don't see a nationwide lockdown again. I think some places and democratic states are going to maybe not, I don't really see fully locked down, but maybe a lot of restrictions coming back into play. Some places may need to go on like a very short temporary lockdown, but that's like cities. I'm seeing some food shortages, but not anything like what we experienced at the beginning of the pandemic. I think a lot of industries have been affected by the virus, and so it feels like there's some meat shortages, but nothing catastrophic or like where people are hoarding toilet paper again. I don't necessarily really see that again. But some places will go back on a shutdown, but nothing like what it was before, and definitely will not go on a nationwide lockdown again. Someone said in my video before that my background looks so peaceful. I love my backyard. It's so zen and relaxing for me, and I love spending time out watching all the birds that like to come by. I have a really beautiful blue heron out in our back pond that likes to come by, and we get ducks and geese. My grandma sends me cardinals all the time, and I get peace doves and blue jays, some golden finches, a whole bunch of different birds. So yes, I find it really relaxing as well. They want to know, they said, I'm always amazed that when I used to cruise, the staff came from many different countries, and they all seemed to get along well. Their question was, will the travel industry ever get back to the way it was before the pandemic? Sorry, I was reading into the question a little bit, not really understanding it. It will eventually. I see with the pandemic, the rest of this year being pretty bad, and possibly I see it getting better by end of winter, early spring. But it is something that we're going to struggle with for the next couple of years. I see slowly more people are getting vaccinated, which is a good thing. A lot of people have to see how bad it is, unfortunately, before they'll protect everybody else. So, and with these boosters, and I think in the next couple months, kids will be able to get vaccinated too, because I see that being a big issue with school starting. So yes, eventually the travel industry will recover. It's going to take a couple of years, so. All right. I don't know if I can get into this too much with YouTube, but Michelle's asking, I'm wondering if any Democrats will be caught up in the child trafficking Epstein Island thing, any senior Dems. Well, I do see a majority of those people being Republicans, but there are some Democrats that are going to get involved with that as well. And I'm thinking towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, there's going to be some more news on that. I think Ghislaine Maxwell will provide some information, and some Democrats are going to go down. I don't see a whole lot, maybe a couple, but there's some, unfortunately. There's a bunch of sickos out there. There's darkness on both sides of the aisle, although, as we know, there's one that has a far lot more darkness on that. Don wants to know what it will look like if/when a state health care collapses. Will any states sue Fox News for souring people on the vaccine as a result of collapsing the state's health care? I definitely see lawsuits for Fox News. That's going to happen in the next coming months. There will be some states' healthcare that will collapse, unfortunately, and I see the National Guard coming into a lot of those states to assist, but there is going to be some deaths in those states, so I'm seeing a lot of southern states, probably Texas and Florida with that because it's so out of control, but a lot of those Gulf states and some of the middle of America states like Missouri, Louisiana. So, but I see some help with that. I believe the Biden administration will send some National Guard people in to help facilitate the full hospital capacity. Excuse me. Earth Mama wants to know, is there any connection between cancer and COVID? I'm not seeing a whole lot of a connection, but a slight. So maybe with COVID, I don't want to say that word on here, the virus, I think some people may develop cancer after getting it, but I'm not seeing a big connection to it. I think the virus can do a lot of damage to the body, and as it's healing, maybe then you start to get some of those cancerous cells with the healing. But I'm not seeing it as a major connection between the two. Shannon wants to know, when we and the Earth ascend into fourth density, what will happen to the people still on Earth who are not ascending? Well, there is going to be some people left behind. They like living in the negativity and the drama, and all we can do is send them love and compassion. But they will not ascend with us right away. It's going to take some time on their journey for them to really find who they are and want to get out of the drama and negativity and ascend. Dolores Cannon says that eventually everybody, well, she said that eventually everybody will make it to the new Earth, which I believe. But it's going to take some time for some people. A lot of them have a lot of growing to do spiritually. Oh, somebody commented and said that they never fully understand the fourth density. is it supposed to be full physical ascension, or is it more of a conscious? I think it's both. I think the physical takes a little bit longer to ascend. The conscious mind, the vibrations, I will pick up on it quicker, but you will have some physical changes as well. A lot of people craving more water during the ascension times and eating lighter. Fresh fruits and vegetables, a lot of people getting away from meat. We all become telepathic and the like. Yeah, as we ascend, it's going to take some time for that, but our abilities will develop, and eventually we'll be like a lot of ET races where we don't actually speak, we communicate telepathically. They say if it's a physical thing, have to wonder what it would be like. We wake up one morning and we're somewhere else, or is it a reincarnation deal? I'm not really sure on that. I don't believe it's going to be we wake up and we're on the new earth. I think it's a slow, gradual process, and it may take us some time to realize that we're already there. I don't think it's where we have to reincarnate to a new earth or die. I don't believe that we have to die to ascend. I think it's just a slow transition process we'll probably be dealing with for the next 5 to 10 years. Can you please give us your new moon ritual? Oh, nice. I just recently started doing rituals and manifesting. It wasn't the last new moon, but the one before. I wrote down on a piece of paper everything that I wanted to manifest. So you do it on the new moon, and I read it 3 times, and then I sent it off to the universe with the elements by catching it on fire. And after it burned out, I spread the ashes in my garden, and daily I would focus my energy for about 5-10 minutes on everything that I'm trying to manifest. And I got my new jobs, I got a bunch of subscribers on YouTube. There was a bunch of stuff that I had in there that I started to manifest. So like I said, I'm still pretty new at it, but it was pretty interesting to see how the universe manifested with the new moon. And for the full moons, I love cleansing my cards and crystals and really charging them in the full moon energy. When I can, I like to put them out in my patio, but if it's raining or really cloudy, I'll just put them up in my house. I have a lot of big windows, as you can see behind me, so I'll put them on my table or something to charge. And I like doing that with all my crystals and tarot cards as well. So many parents are really worried about their children getting back into school because of the virus. My own feeling about this is that the situation will sort itself out. Some kids will graduate a year later than planned, but in the long run, maybe they will find that they've gained something as well. Can you read on this? Well, I do see it being an issue, like I said before. My guides have told me with this new variant, it's affecting kids. I do see the vaccine being available to kids in the next month or two. I'm seeing like end of September, October, maybe beginning of November. But I do see it being a problem and a lot of news on this, unfortunately. I have siblings that are still in school, and I can definitely see that they've struggled with it. It will eventually sort itself out, but it has definitely been a struggle finding new ways to teach and learn with a lot of people going remote and being outside of the classroom. But I think eventually in the future, our teachings will all be remote anyway, because you don't need to maintain all of these expensive buildings and rebuild buildings when we have the capacity to teach online. I think that's another decade out, but I think eventually it's going to be similar to what we're doing now. I think they'll realize that a lot of kids learned a lot better this way. And somebody was talking about this again, saying that they're worried about children starting school in the midst of the highly infectious variant. They think that America is getting more and more stupid. Please reading on this. Yeah, it's very sad, and I do see some deaths with the children, unfortunately. But like I said, in the next month or two, I really do see a lot of vaccinations going through, so it will get better. But I do definitely see it as a struggle for the next couple months. It's very sad. Parents need to protect their kids from this. And as we're talking about Ascension and the virus, I think it's going to help wake a lot of people up so that they do start working on their spiritual growth and working into ascending their energies, because a lot of people are going to pass away because of this, unfortunately. But it's going to affect a lot of people, and in a sense, I see it eventually bringing people together. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it is helping to get rid of some of the negativity and then bring people together. So I wanted to read on a few things. That was about it for questions, I think. I wanted to look into the energy around Afghanistan real quick, and in the infrastructure deal, with which, as I said before, we're seeing some drama with it now. My spirit guide said that it will eventually pass, but there's going to be quite a bit of drama around it, and I think it may be into the end of the fall before we actually get fall to spring, sometime in that time period. It's kind of hard to read on the energy. It's really murky and up in the air at the moment, but it will eventually pass. But, so let's look into the energy around Afghanistan. What can you tell me about Afghanistan? It's so sad. A lot of civil unrest. I see a lot of the women coming back into their own power, so I think that there's going to be a lot of infighting, maybe civil wars in that country after the U.S. leaves. We're going to definitely be hearing about it for a while. These cards really do not want to shuffle today. What's going on with Afghanistan spirit? Thank you for being patient as I shuffle. It takes me a while because I really like to feel into the energy as an empath. Alright, Spirit, show me the energy around Afghanistan. Oh yeah, definitely the women are fighting back. I do get a lot of female energy with it, so I do see that the women fighting back, but it's going to be something that they struggle with for a while. I get the Ace of Wands reversed right now, so the energy is all over the place. It's not very focused right now. They need some time to rethink and replan. I do get the King of Swords crossing it, so I do see them taking the time out to really plan what their next move is and be strategic about that. Above, I get the Queen of Cups, a lot of the mother energy, fighting back and defending themselves. But they are going to be in a weak position for a while. I get the Strength card reverse in the short-term future, so it is going to be something that it's going to take time, and it's going to be a while before they can resolve a lot of the issues. Like I said before, there were some money deals going on prior. It was planned that they were going to give up, which is very sad. And they're very afraid of the Tower moment, a lot of that devastation and disaster. I get the Judgment card reversed. So it's some people refusing to take responsibility in action. But slowly in the future, the women are going to fight back with the Five of Swords. They are going to stand up for what they believe in and want to keep their freedoms that they have, that they refuse to lose. So there will be a battle with the women fighting for their freedoms in the future. And I do see them eventually being successful, but I see them having issues over there for next several years, maybe in the next decade. So let's just look real quick at the energies around the infrastructure deal, and then I gotta get off of here. Gotta get my house cleaned up before I start working, and I have a busy weekend, so. But I had so much fun hanging out with you all today, so. What's the energy around the infrastructure deal? And Joe Manchin comes up. Yeah, he's going to be a major problem with that deal. Not the bipartisan, but the human infrastructure. And I don't see progressive Democrats giving up and passing that bipartisan bill until they get their wish list. He would love to just sweep that under the rug, but in the midterm, it's gonna suck for the next year, but I really see a lot of progress happening after the midterm elections. We're gonna narrowly keep the House, I believe, but we are gonna take seats in the Senate, so we will have the power to get some things accomplished. It's very sad that we have some obstructionists in our party that don't want to see any real progress happen. And I see him in cinema, but him especially being a major issue in this infrastructure deal. But we will get there eventually. It could even be that the bipartisan bill comes into the fall and gets voted through, and we have to wait until the midterms till after the midterms to get the human infrastructure done. But it will eventually be done. There's going to be a lot of great programs that come out of that, and a lot of help for the American people who desperately need it. But let's just take a look. Please show me the energy around the infrastructure bill. These cards are frustrating me a little bit today. They want to go all over the place. All right, so let's look. Yeah, there's all that fighting right now. Yeah, I'm not liking the cards right now for the human infrastructure. It may be until after the midterm elections before, because we have the Wheel of Fortune reverse crossing the energy. So that's kind of bad luck. It's crossing the death card. So there is some change and transformation, but we have the Hierophant reversed above. So that can be the government not being able to work properly and come together on a deal right now. In the near future, I get the Page of Pentacles reversed. So there's a lack of planning and process on the issue, and a lot of fighting and wasting time. They're hopeful that they can come together. I don't see it happening right now. In the future, I get the Five of Pentacles, which is loss. Strength card reversed, really weak. You have these people that are these senators that are really going against their own party because they were paid to do so, and it's very sad. I get the Tower with it too, and the Page of Wands reversed, which the cards are not. The energy's not feeling right with it right now. It will eventually get passed. It's going to take a little bit of time. It would be very nice if we could get it done and before the election to show some real progress, but I'm somewhat doubtful that can happen. But maybe the energy will change here soon, and I'm just trying to be positive on it, but the energy's all over the place with that human infrastructure right now. Too much fighting on the Democratic Party to get it done. Well, thank you all for spending so much time with me. I had a ball answering all of your questions. If you all need to reach out to me, or if you're interested in contacting me for a private reading, you can do so by emailing me at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com, and I will have that in the link in the description box. If you have any other questions that you'd like me to read on, please write your questions in the comment section and I will take a look. Like I said, probably Monday or Tuesday, I will do another video for you next week. So I'm sending you all so much love and light. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, share, subscribe if my channel resonates with you. So I'll see you all here very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.